Jade is useless unless worked. A human being is useless unless educated. That's the proverb that we get today in our meditation of fire over fire. I'm going to go ahead and just read the poem and the actual meditation passage that's in this book here. Heaven's hand is heavy on us. Do not mock sacred things. I am ancient and speak the truth, but you, children, are puffed with pride. My speech may be senile, but you laugh at tragedy, so your troubles will spread like flame until there is no hope left for you. This is the meditation for today. Take time and trouble to learn. Listen before you offer advice. Look before you judge. In the I Ching, it speaks of the stranger, the odd one who breaks into our smug, content worlds and makes us think again. You may need to stand back and think more deeply, learn more humbly. What is really important, or else you may find yourself consumed, like fire upon fire, which swiftly fails, for it has nothing of substance to feed upon. We're talking about education today. Listen before you offer advice. Look before you judge. Now, okay. When it comes to people educating themselves, I've noticed a trend. When you want to educate yourself, you have to do more than just listen to what other people are telling you. And if somebody's telling you information that is contrary, you need to listen to that too. That's part of education. It's been a frustration of mine over the last 25 years to see people thinking that they know everything and there's nothing that can be told to them. And we all fall into those traps. I've fallen into those traps as well. I'm trying not to rant here, but there is a value in listening to things that contradict your own worldview, as uncomfortable as that can be. And just because a lot of people are saying something doesn't mean that it's true. Repetition has a way of hitting us psychologically. When we hear the same thing over and over again in our content feeds that hit us in our collective unconscious, a lot of those are just lies. They're just seeds being planted to manipulate you. Your attention is yours and yours alone. It doesn't belong to anybody else unless you actively and willingly give it to them. Oh, that's a fiery one today. Not sure what else to add. We'll see what the cards have to say. I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 cards for the collective. We have the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is a rushing energy. It's rushing towards purposeful thought. The swords are thought. The swords are logic. When the knight is rushing forth, they can often fall into the trap of going too fast, not watching where they're leading their horse, easily causing the horse to stumble. Oftentimes we think we know, and we rush into a situation, rush into a conflict, and we don't really know what we're dealing with. There's always a piece in our mind that it doesn't have the full truth, and that's why we were meant to educate ourselves on the subject before we start debating it. How many times have you seen that dynamic online? But once you have that education, once you've actually taken the time to deeply learn and understand the subject or topic or just general practice that you're looking into, you come to it from a knowing, grounded, authoritative stance. Not to say that you're going to be pressing down on anybody, but you actually know what you're talking about. You actually have the knowledge, and you have no weak points in your knowledge to stumble when you're executing something in life or when you are engaging in that subject with others. So one last card. Let's see what it has to say. It's the final thing that the collective can get from this video. We have the Star. You can rush into things thinking that you know plenty about the subject. But to rush into a subject, learn a few things, and think that you know everything about the subject is foolhardy. It's not a stable foundation. You actually have to take the time to learn. That way you can actually come from a place of authority instead of a place of aggression. But it's not just enough to know things. Logic is not the only way to know. Statistics, facts, yeah, those are good. They give us a grounded sense of the shared reality that we all have to live within. But the experience that one has in life, the things that have shaped and molded us to have a different perspective outside of the stats, outside of the facts, outside of the anecdotes, whatever that may be. It's the experience that we have that give us deeper understanding, deeper knowing. See, the most important thing is to understand, to see where that fits in the broad scheme of things, to think before you react is the very thing that'll keep you from rushing down the path. It's the connection with the universe itself. Seeing the troubles and finding the underlying systems that cause the troubles, not just the obvious symptoms of the troubles and arguing about that. That's what's important. That's education. That requires listening to something outside of your comfort zone. That requires actually reading on the subjects that you are trying to espouse. I'm just as much of the collective as you are. We're all in this together. We're all experiencing this growth. take some time to learn things. Even if you think you know about a subject, learn more. There's always more to learn. And I guess that's the true humbling thing when it comes to the world that we live in. There's always stuff you don't know. Even about the subjects you know the most about, there's always something new to learn. Never forget that. I try not to. Every day, I try to learn. It makes one uncomfortable because, well, you thought you knew something, but there's more to learn. Kind of makes it so you question yourself, and that's good too. That's part of education, is to question yourself. Question everything, including yourself. I'm trying to keep these shorter. I don't have anything else to add, though. But y'all have a good day. I'm Jeff. This is Illuminated Fate. I'll see y'all again soon.